What is dopamine? Dopamine is a neurotransmitter and hormone produced in the brain and other areas of the body. It is synthesized from the amino acid tyrosine and is part of the catecholamine family, along with norepinephrine and epinephrine. Functions of dopamine is involved in many brain and body processes, including reward and pleasure. Reward and pleasure. Guys, dopamine is often called the feel-good neurotransmitter because it is released during pleasurable activities, and eating, exercising, or achieving goals. It reinforces behaviors that are beneficial for survival and well-being. Movement and coordination. Movement and coordination. 2. Dopamine is critical for motor control. It is produced in the substantia nigra, a region of the brain that helps regulate movement. Low dopamine levels in this area are associated with Parkinson's disease, which causes tremors, stiffness, and difficulty with movement. Motivation and focus. Motivation and focus. 3. Dopamine drives motivation by making you feel rewarded for completing tasks or pursuing goals. It also plays a role in attention and focus, which is why dopamine dysregulation is linked to conditions like ADHD. Mood regulation. Mood regulation. 4. Dopamine influences mood and emotional responses. Low dopamine levels are associated with depression and anhedonia, inability to feel pleasure, learning and memory. Learning and memory. 5. Dopamine helps reinforce learning by signaling the importance of certain experiences or information. Other functions. 6. Dopamine regulates blood flow, digestion, and insulin production in the body. It also plays a role in the prolactin system, which controls milk production in breastfeeding women. Dopamine. Pathways in the brain. Dopamine acts through several pathways in the brain. Mesolimbic pathway, involved in reward and pleasure. Mesocortical pathway regulates motivation and emotional responses. Nigrostriatal pathway controls movement. Tuberoinfundibular pathway regulates prolactin secretion. Dopamine and mental health or dopamine levels. Low dopamine levels. 1. Linked to depression, lack of motivation, fatigue, and Parkinson's disease. High dopamine levels. High dopamine levels. 2. Associated with addiction, schizophrenia, and mania in bipolar disorder. Dopamine dysregulation. Dopamine dysregulation. 3. Imbalances can lead to ADHD, addiction, and other mental health conditions. How to boost dopamine naturally. Diet. 1. Eat foods rich in tyrosine, e.g., almonds, bananas, eggs, chicken, and antioxidants, e.g., fruits and vegetables. Exercise. 2. Physical activity increases dopamine production and improves mood. Sleep. 3. Adequate sleep helps maintain healthy dopamine levels. Meditation and mindfulness. Meditation and mindfulness. 4. These practices can increase dopamine and reduce stress. Achieving goals. Achieving goals. 5. Setting and completing small goals can trigger dopamine release. Dopamine and addiction. Dopamine plays a central role in addiction. Drugs, alcohol, and other addictive behaviors, e.g., gambling, social media, cause a surge in dopamine, creating a high. Over time, the brain becomes less sensitive to dopamine, leading to tolerance and dependence. Interesting facts about dopamine. Dopamine is not just about pleasure. It's more about anticipation and motivation. It's involved in both reward-seeking and risk-taking behaviors. Dopamine levels naturally decline with age, which may contribute to reduced motivation and slower movement in older adults.